Good morning, students. We are doing chapter number 6, application of derivatives. In the previous lectures, we have studied about the topic increasing and decreasing functions, tangents and normals, properties of tangent and normal exercise. Now we will discuss topic maxima and minima. The previous one exercise approximation value that is not in our syllabus now. So that's why we have skipped that one. And now we'll do exercise 6.5. That is on the basis of maxima and minima. First of all, we'll study what is the definition of maxima minima. We'll study few graphs, then the local maxima, local minima, then first derivative method to calculate maxima minima concept, and last one is the second derivative method. Now, what is the definition of maxima minima and what type of graphs gives you idea about the maxima and minima? In this section, we'll use the concept derivative to calculate the maxima and minima value of various functions. In fact, we will find the turning points of the graph of the function. There's a find points at which the graph reaches its highest or lowest point. What is the meaning of turning points? Turning points, or you can say critical points. Where the nature of the graph changes, that point is known as turning point or critical point. At the point where the nature of the graph changes, that point is known as turning point or critical point. We can see it in the graphs. The knowledge of such type of points is very useful in sketching the graph of given function. Further, we will also find the absolute maximum or absolute minimum of function that are necessary for the solution of many applied problems. What are applied problems? Few examples are given here. First example is the profit from a grove of orange trees is given by the equation px is equal to ax plus bx square, where a and b are constants and x is the number of orange trees per acre. How many trees per acre will maximize the profit? Such type of questions where we maximize or minimize the profit, we have done in the chapter 12 LPP. Here same we will do by applying the process of maxima and minima concept by application first derivative method and second derivative method. We will do this. Second example is given here. A ball thrown into the air from a building 60 meters high travel along a path given by the equation hx is equal to 60 plus x minus x square upon 60, where x is the horizontal distance from the building and hx is the height of the ball. What is the maximum height? Again, what you want to optimize the height. Optimize means here you have to maximize the height. How you will get the idea of this? This is the example. Next one, third example is again given, that is Apache helicopter is there. We will do such type of question further. An Apache helicopter of enemy is flying along the path given by the curve fx is equal to x square plus 7. A soldier placed at the point 1, 2. Soldier is placed at point 1, 2, wants to shoot the helicopter. When it is nearest to him, what is the nearest distance? You have to minimize the distance to get the target. It means such type of problems are solved by using these concepts of mathematics. So these are what application of the topic in applied life, in the day-to-day life. Now here is a definition. We'll discuss definition of maxima and minimum. Definition: let f be a function defined on an interval I, then f is said to be maximum value in the interval if there exists a point C in I such that f of C is greater than fx for all values of x in the interval I. It means what? You can see here, if I talk about the maximum value, suppose I am taking this graph. If I take, this is the maximum value, this is the maximum value. If I take in the interval from this to this, if I take somewhere this point, at this point the value of y here is less than this one value. You can see it here. Suppose I am taking x from here, I am taking the value of y that is also less than this value, which is the maximum one. It means in the interval, this point is showing the maximum value. That's why the function is showing the maximum value at the point C. F is said to be a maximum value in the interval I at point C if nearby all points are having less value comparatively this C point. The number f of C is called the maximum value of f in the interval. C is showing the maximum maxima at the point C, and the value which is maximum you can calculate. Put this value C in the function f, that value will be the maximum value of the function in the interval, and the point C is called the point of maximum value of f in the interval. C is the point of maxima and f of C is the maximum value. Similarly, we talk about the minimum value or minima at the point. So suppose I take this graph like this. So sorry, we'll take graph like this. Like this. If I take, this is the point of minima where the value is minimum. This is the y. Suppose I have written here y at this point C. If I take point here and get the value of y, it will be what? More than y. If I take value here and value of y is always greater than this given y, it means C is showing the minimum value, that is y. So what f is said to have a minimum value I in the existing point C in interval such that f of C is less than all values in the interval x belongs to interval I, in the interval I. And f is said to be an extreme value in interval I if there exists a point C in I such that either a maximum value or minimum value. F is said to have an extreme value in I if both either maximum or minimum. The number fc in this case, f is called the extreme value of f in interval I, and the point C is called the extreme point. Now we can see these concepts through graph. Graphs are given in the NCERT. Let's discuss these graphs. I've told you. Again, you can see here. This is a graph which is showing maximum value. This is showing minimum value, maximum and minimum value both. You can see here. Now, few examples are given here. In these examples, we will study whether the given graphs gives you maximum value or minimum value and what are the points of maximum and minimum. Example number 26. Read the graph. Find the maximum and minimum values if any of the function f is given by this fx is equal to x square, x belongs to all real numbers. This is a graph. See this graph. You can see here, if you put the value of x are all real numbers, positive, negative, all real numbers, but you are getting y is always positive. Y is always positive. Now, what is the maximum value? What maximum value we can put at the place of x? Real numbers means what? Real numbers are up to infinite. You can't find out x, which is maximum. If you can't get x, which is maximum, then how you can get the maximum value corresponding to that x? So what? You can't get the value which is maximum. But at x is equal to 0, you can see here, the graph is showing the minimum value. This is a point where the graph is showing minimum value. Now read the paragraph. You will get an idea about it. What I am saying to you. There are minimum, therefore the minimum value of function is 0. The point of minimum value of f is x is equal to 0. Further, it may be observed from the graph of the function that f has no maximum value and hence no point of maximum value of f in the R. It means you can't find out x which is maximum. If you can't find x which is maximum, then how you can get the maximum value corresponding to that x? So what? Only minimum value can be calculated in this. Maximum cannot be calculated. No maximum value will be there. Same example number 27. You can read the example number 27. Find the maximum value, the values of function, if any, of the function this fx is equal to mod of x. Before I start this example, one note is there in the previous one, which is written, if we restrict the domain of the function minus 2 to 1. If we restrict minus 2 to 1, we have to discuss it. Minus 2 to 1. If we restrict the domain from this minus 2 to 1, from here, close interval is there, minus 1 to 1, close interval. Then you can say that what? The f will have maximum value in the case when you restrict the interval which is given real numbers. If you restrict it from minus 2 to 1, then you can get the maximum value. Where it will be? At x is equal to minus 2, you will get the value that is maximum. So what? To get the maximum value, we have to restrict the interval. If there is no restriction in the interval, you can't find out the maximum value. In the example number 27, here we have to discuss the function which is fx is equal to mod x. What is the meaning of fx is equal to mod x? We can write it like this. It is x if x is greater than equal to 0. It is minus x if x is less than 0. So this graph you will obtain. Here the function is showing minimum value at point x is equal to 0. Whether you can get the maximum value? No, because what? The line can be extended infinitely. Line can be extended infinitely. The point of minimum value of f is x is equal to 0. Also the graph clearly shows that f has no maximum value in R, hence no point of maxima will be there. Maximum value will be there in the interval R. Again, one note is given, if we restrict R to interval minus 2 to 1. If this real number is restricted in the interval minus 2 to 1, then the maximum value can be calculated at point minus 2. Okay. Now come to the next example, example number 28. Here one question can be asked, how you can get the maximum value. At that time you can say that if we restrict the interval of x, then we can find the maximum value of the given function. Now here through the graph I can tell you the example number 28. Find the maximum and minimum values of the function, that is fx is equal to x and interval is given open interval 0 to 1. What is the meaning of open interval? It means 0 is not lying there and 1 is not lying there. You are talking about the numbers which are what? Lying in between 0 and 1. It means if I am talking about the point which is very near to 0, how can I get the point which is very near to 0, and how we can get the point which is very near to 1. 0.999999999 up to what? It means what? We can't find out very near to 1 value. We can't find out very near to 0 number. So what? If we can't have any number very near to 0, it's difficult to find out very near to 0 and very near to 1, because this interval is open interval. 1 is not lying here. If 1 is lying there and 0 is lying there, it means very easy to find out maximum and minimum value. If you can't have 0 and 1 in between the interval, then in that case you cannot find any minimum value or any maximum value. Read the paragraph carefully. It means neither maximum nor minimum value can be calculated in the interval 0 to 1, because very near to 0 you can't find x. What is x very near to 0? It's very difficult to find out. Similarly, very difficult to find out 1 near to 1 value. So if we can't find very near to 1, where we have to go for it? We can't find out. So what? Neither maximum nor minimum concept will be here in this graph. Now read these concepts, remarks. You have to read these graphs. Now one more graph is given here. This graph is given here. In one graph, there are 2 peaks and 2 downs, 2 points A and C, which are showing minimum. It means what? In one graph, if you are getting maxima and minima both, in those cases, we have to create interval very near to those points, and those intervals are known as the local intervals, and local maxima and local minima can be find by using the very near interval of that point. Suppose I want to check the nature of A, I have to create an interval very near to A and then find the nature of A. So same as for B, C and D, we have to create small interval, very local interval near to B, C, D, and get an idea whether the function is showing maximum value at that point or minimum value at that point. Here is a definition of it. What we have to do, let f be a real valued function, C be an interior point in the domain of f. C is called a local maxima if there is an h greater than 0 such that h is small increment. F of C is greater than equal to f of x, and C is lying in that where x is lying in this interval, and x and C both are not equal. What's the meaning of this very near interval? It means what? If I'm talking about x is equal to, suppose 1. At 1, I want to check the maxima or minima at that point. Then I have to create interval 1 minus h and 1 plus h, one small interval. Then if f of C is showing greater value for all x belongs to this interval, then the function is showing local maxima, and reciprocal of it, if it is showing less than equal to fx, then local minima, local minimum value. And geometrically we can see here the graphs are given to you. What's the meaning of these graphs? If we're talking about this, it means you can see here this increasing function. At this point, the critical point you reached, and then it is a decreasing function. As we have studied already, for the increasing function, but you prove that the derivative of function is greater than 0, and when the graph is decreasing graph, it means definition of the function shows that the derivative of the function is less than 0 at that point. Same is given here in the next graph also. Now we'll discuss first derivative test. What first derivative tests say? How to prove the function is showing maxima or minima at the given point. Here is the theorem which we generally use to find the solution. Let f be a function defined on the interval I, f be a continuous function at a critical point C in interval I, then first case, you have to find out the derivative of the function. Then check the sign of the derivative, whether it is moving from positive to negative. Positive to negative, x equals to C. If f dash x is greater than 0 at every point sufficiently close to the to the left of the C, f dash C less than 0 at every point sufficiently close to and to the right of C, then C is called the local maximum. What is the meaning of this? It means just you have to read the first line, and you must remember that the derivative of the function, if changes sign positive to negative from left to right, from left to right to that point, then it shows local maxima. If the derivative of the function shows negative to positive sign, negative to positive sign from what? Left to right. This is very important to learn. From where you have to check? From left to right. From left to right, if it is positive to negative, then maxima. If it is negative to positive, from left to right, then it is local minima. If there is no change in sign, from left to right, it is positive to positive, or maybe negative to negative, there is no change in sign in the function, then the point of inflection will be there. It means neither maxima nor minima will be there. Remember these points, then we can do the questions by using the concept of first derivative test. Let's do the question by using the concept of first derivative method. Find all points of local maximum, local minima of the function f given by this. It means the same graph, you are getting maxima and minima both. It means you have to create an interval nearby the critical points. Now, what are the critical points and how to find out the critical points? This is the target. Now, function is given to you. This is a function. First of all, you have to get the derivative of the function, that is 3x square minus 3, and taking 3 common, what you are getting? X square minus 1, and factorize it, you are getting 2 factors, x minus 1, x plus 1. Now, what are the critical points? Put this derivative equal to 0. What you are getting? X is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1. 2 factors are there. Put these factors equal to 0. You are getting x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1. Now you have to create interval very near to 1 and minus 1. Okay. When you are talking about, let's draw number line. This is 0. Here is 1 and here is minus 1. I'm just telling to you about 1. Very near to 1, if you move to left, left means point, suppose here is 0.9. 0.9 is in left of the 1 and 1.1 is in the right of the 1. Now you have to put 0.9 in the f dash 0.9 you have to calculate, and you have to calculate f dash 1.1. This is written left right. I think here you have to apply your mind, because theorem is from left to right. You have to put first line 0.9 and then second line will be for 1.1. It means this will be less than 0 and this will be greater than 0. It means when you put 0.9, I'm just changing it because we are checking from left to right, then we have to write down left to right. Left point is 0.9 and right is 1.1. And when you're putting 0.9 in derivative, you're getting negative value. You can put here in this statement the value 0.9 in the statement, you will get negative value. And when you put 1.1, you are getting positive. It means negative to positive. What it means? Negative to positive means minima. Minima at point x is equal to 1. And when you check for -1, for -1 in left, you can put value from left and one value from right. Left and right values you have to put from here. Then you will get what? From positive to negative. You can see here, this is a left value, this is a right value. Positive to negative. Put your on the values, two values, -1, left in -1, and one is right in -1, and check from left to right. Then you are getting positive to negative. It means what? I'm just doing this you are getting maxima at x is equal to -1. Now you can check it. Make the table according to the definition. First put the left value, then right, and check from left to right the sign of the statement, whether you are getting negative to positive or positive to negative. If positive to negative, then maxima. If negative to positive, then it is showing minima at that point. And what is the maximum value and minimum value? This concept shows you at x is equal to 1, you are getting minima. You are getting minus at -1 maxima. What are the values? Those values can be calculated if you put x is equal to 1 in this function f of x. It means f of 1 will give you minimum value, f of -1 will give you maximum value. Now, example number 30. Find all the points of local maxima and local minima of the function f given by fx is equal to this statement. Now you want to find out maxima and minima of the given function. Get the derivative of the function. This is a derivative 6x square minus 12x plus 6. Taking 6 common. What you are getting? 6 common means x square minus 2x plus 1, and this is what? Square of x minus 1 whole square. So what? When you put equal to 0, you are getting x is equal to 1. The critical point is x is equal to 1. Now you have to check whether sign, what type of sign you are getting. In left, again, what is the value? That is 0.9. In right, it is 1.1. Put here, calculate f dash 0.9. F dash 1.1. Put here. When you put here, whether you put 0.9 or 1.1, you have to scale that statement. It means what? It always becomes positive. Whether you are getting negative in the bracket or positive, after scaling you are getting positive. It means what? Positive to positive. It means what? No change in sign is there. No change in sign. No change in sign means neither maxima nor minima will be there at x is equal to 1. This is the point you have to note down. This is a point of inflection. At x is equal to 1, there is a point of inflection because you are not getting maxima or minima, you are getting both, neither maxima nor minima. No change in sign is there. Now here is the second method, that is a second derivative method, that is an easier one than the first derivative method. What you have to do, and note down the concept. This is what? If let f be a function defined by an interval I, c belongs to this interval, let f be a twice differentiable at function. It means function you are taking which is differentiably twice. 2 times you can differentiate that function at point c. If you are getting in the previous what you did, you get the first derivative and you put that derivative equal to 0. From that you are getting critical points, and if you got critical points, after that take the derivative of the first derivative. It means you get the second derivative of the function and put those critical points in this derivative. If you are getting less than, it means negative. If after putting the critical points in the second derivative you are getting negative value, it means maxima will be there at that point. If you are getting positive value at that point, then positive means greater than 0. Second derivative, if it is second derivative is positive at the critical points, then it shows local minima. If you get second derivative equal to 0 at the critical point, it means second derivative method fails. You have to go for the first derivative method. It means you can't check if second derivative equal to 0. You can't say anything about the point. You have to go back to the first derivative method and check by using the first derivative method. Okay. Now how to do this such type of questions? Here is example number 31. Find local minimum value of the function f given by this 3 plus mod x. Note that given function is not differentiable at x is equal to 0. So second derivative test is fail. This is very important part which I have told you in third step. If second derivative method fails, it means you have to apply first derivative method and go back to the first derivative method and apply the same concept which is in a first derivative. So what to do now? Now first derivative take place, you are getting 3 minus x. 3 minus x, you are getting f dash x is equal to x becomes 1 and 3 becomes 0. It means minus 3. Derivatives gives you minus 1, that is less than 0. If I take from right, this will be greater than 0. With negative to positive it is going on. Let's see on the next page. Yes. Yes, this is from right, it will be what? 3 plus x. And the derivative will be 1. 3 becomes 0 and this is 1, is greater than 0. Previous one was negative and this is positive. Negative to positive. It means what? Negative to, by first derivative, x is equal to 0 is a point of local minima of the function. And local minimum value will be at x is equal to 0. What is the function value that gives you value, that is f of 0 will be equal to 3. Now example number 32. In example number 32, find local maximum and local minimum values of the function f. Now when the method is not given to you, first you have to apply the second derivative method. If second derivative method fails, then you have to go for the first derivative method. Second derivative is the easier one comparatively first derivative method. So apply first second derivative, then if it is failed, then go back to the first derivative method. The question is fx is equal to, statement is given to you, write the derivative of the function. After getting derivative, you have to factorize the statement. Put this is equal to 0, you will get the critical points. These are 0, 1 and minus 2. Here just you have to local maximum, local minimum values only. You have not to find out the local minimum, local point and local maximum point or local minimum point. Values you have to calculate. It means what? Only values. It means at 0, 1 and minus 2. You have to calculate the values. First check by using the second derivative method. Second derivative method means do the second derivative of the function. This is second derivative. And second derivative check at x is equal to 0. What is the value of second derivative? It comes out minus 24, negative. Negative second derivative means maxima at point x is equal to 0. Second derivative at 1, that comes out positive. Positive means minima at point x is equal to 1. And x is equal to minus 2 gives you 7 to 2, again positive. It means what? Minima. It means at x is equal to 1 and minus 2, function shows minima, and at point x is equal to 0, function shows maxima, and the values are calculate f of 0. This gives you maximum value. F of 1 will give you minimum value. F of minus 2 will also give you minimum value. These two are the minimum values. Here minimum values are 7 and minus 2, and maximum value is 12. You can calculate it. Now do this next. You're on. Now here is the another example. Let's do this example. Example number 35. Find the shortest distance of the point 0, comma c from the parabola y is equal to x square. Find the shortest distance of this point from the parabola. Let's take a point on a parabola, that is hk point will be on a parabola. We want to find out the distance of this hk point from this point. It means distance between these 2 points. You know what is the formula to calculate distance? What is the formula to find out the distance? x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square under the root. Here is the distance. Now you have to minimize this distance. It means you have to get second derivative at the critical point. What you will get, it will show you. Yes. Now distance is given. This is one. H and k are two variables. First of all, convert the statement into single variable. If the point is lying on the parabola, it means this point will satisfy the equation of parabola. So you will get k is equal to h square. It means you can put at the place of h square, you can put k. The distance will be this one. Now derivative, you can calculate derivative of root this. It means you can get the derivative k plus k minus c square 1 by 2. Take 1 by 2 outside and power minus 1. It means negative of half. Put it down in denominator, and derivative of k plus k minus c whole square is 1 plus 2 into k minus c. Now put this derivative equal to 0. You will get the critical point. K will be equal to 2c minus 1 upon 2. What first principle says? If you are getting 2, it means what? You are getting value in left and right. Put that value in the first derivative, and whether what signs are changes, positive to negative or negative to positive, you have to check. Same you have to do here. This is the value k, and let's say k is less than this statement. If you take this statement, transpose this 2k minus 2c plus 1, you will get that is less than 0. It means numerator of the derivative is negative. If numerator is negative and denominator is, it is given positive to you. It means what? You are getting negative. It means if k is less than 0, the numerator of the derivative becomes negative. It means you are getting negative derivative, first derivative negative or less than 0. If you take k greater than 0, then numerator of the derivative becomes positive. And positive upon positive, you are getting the derivative will be positive. Here is, yes, this is positive. So sign is what? Moving from negative to positive. It means what? Minimum will be there at the point k is equal to 2c minus 1 upon 2. What is the distance? Put this value k in the distance formula. You will get the distance. Let's see what is the distance. Yes. Put the value. K is given to you. Put the values. You will get the distance. Okay. Now example number 36. Let AP and BQ be two vertical poles at points A and B respectively. If AP is equal to 16 meter, BQ is equal to 22 meter, and AB is 22 meter, then find the distance of a point R on AB from the point A such that RP square plus RQ square is minimum. You have to minimize this statement. It means you have to calculate first RP square plus RQ square. If you want to minimize it, it means you have to first find the equation. Second step, get that first derivative. Next step, put equal to 0 this derivative, and then find out second derivative. Put critical values in this derivative. Put critical values in second derivative. What you will get, if it is minimum, then second derivative will be what? Second derivative at that point will be, if it is minimum, it means it will be greater than 0. Second derivative at the critical point. C is a critical point. that will be equal to greater than 0. Now let's do the question. First of all, find out RP square plus RQ square. Let's do it. Yes, here is a figure. These measurements are given to you. We have supposed AR is X, then RB will be 20 minus X. If you want RP square, is a right angle triangle, put the property of Pythagoras theorem. Same, apply Pythagoras in the second triangle and add PR square and RQ square. Yes, add them. You are getting an equation. This one, 2x square minus 40x plus 1140. What I said in working rule, take the derivative of this function. Take the derivative of this function. That will be what? This is the equation, and derivative will be 2x square minus 40x. That is not derivative, this is a derivative. 4x minus 40. This is a derivative of the equation. And take the second derivative, that comes out only 4. 4 is what? Always greater than 0, because if you get the critical point, put the first derivative equal to 0, you are getting 10. At 10, second derivative will be always 4, because no x is given here in the second derivative, so it is always positive. It means at s double dash at 10, this is always 4, and that will be greater than 0. So what this implies? The minimum will be there at the point x is equal to 10. It means, what are the steps to do? First of all, make the equation, get the first derivative, put that derivative equal to 0, and get the critical points. And then second derivative, and next put the critical points in the second derivative. If you are getting positive second derivative, you are getting positive value, it means local minima will be there. And if you are getting second derivative at the critical points less than 0, it means local maxima will be there. Example number 37. I think you can do this because it's trapezium, area of trapezium based question. You know what is the area of trapezium? Half into sum of parallel sides into height. Apply the concept of this. The lengthy one question and good question. So many times it comes in a CBSE exam. Important because it came so many times in a CBSE exams. Try to do this question. Here is example number 38. Prove that. This is also a good question. Now good questions are there. You have to do some efforts to do these questions. I think efforts are required because some calculations, strong calculations are there in the examples as well as in questions. Prove that the radius of the right circular cylinder of the greatest curved surface area, which can be inscribed in a given cone, is half of that of the cone. Example number 38. First of all, you have to understand what is given in the statement. Cylinder is inscribed in a cone, and you have to what? Find out, prove that the radius of the right circular cylinder, radius of the cylinder of greatest curved surface area, greatest hona chahiye curved surface area. It means what? You have to maximize the curved surface area of the cylinder. Yes. First of all, plot this graph, this figure. Cone is plotted here. I have just to show you. Here is the, I have to name it. Okay. Let's draw it on the top so we can see statement as well as this figure. Okay, this is a cone. We have inscribed a cylinder in this cone. Okay, and this is the vertical height of the cone, and this is the Q, this is E, this is C, this is A, P, B, and D. Now, what are the measurements we have to see here? Move it. Yes, OC is given. This is, I think, O. OC is given. This is just, I can draw it like this. O to C. O to C. OCR be the radius of the cone. It means like this. You can see here, this is a R, radius of the cone. OA is equal to H. It means height of the cone is small h. It means small r and small h are the radius and height of the cone. Let a cylinder with radius OE. That OE is the radius of cylinder, that is X. You can see here. And QE is the cylinder's height. Okay. It means QE is the height of cylinder. This is the height of cylinder. And you have to maximize the surface area of the cylinder. What is the surface area of the cylinder? Curved surface area. Curved surface area of cylinder. What is the curved surface area of cylinder? 2 pi. Here is X. Cylinder R means X. Height means QE. It means 2 pi into X into QE. 2 pi RH is the formula. Curved surface area is 2 pi RH. Here R is X and H is QE. Now X and QE are two variables. We have to convert this into single variable. For this we have to do the use of similarity of triangles, which we have studied in class 10th. Similarity of triangles. Now let's move. Here two triangles are shown. Which one triangles? Let's see. I have to show you. Yes. Now you can see here triangle AOC and triangle QEC. This is C. Okay. This angle is common in both triangles. These are two right angles. It means by angle property, triangles are similar. If triangles are similar, it means their sides are proportional. It means you can write QE, vertical height upon vertical height, QE upon OA, and radius EC upon OE. OC is a radius and EC is a part of the radius. Okay, EC upon OE. Put down the values. This is if OE is X and OC is R, then EC is X, R minus X. Put the values. Here you can calculate QE. Now what I have told you, surface area will be equal to 2 pi X into QE. The value of QE is H into R minus X upon R. Put the value of this H into R minus X upon R. You are getting one equation, which is now in one variable. That is X. R and H are the constants, because what? Cone is the figure which is constant. You are inscribing a cylinder in that cone. It means what? The parts of the cone are considered at constant terms. So what? You have to differentiate this statement with respect to X. First derivative will be S dash X. Second derivative will be this one. Let's clear it. Now put the first derivative equal to 0. You put equal to 0, you are getting X is equal to R by 2. This becomes 0 and X is equal to R by 2. At R by 2, what is the second derivative? At R by 2, the second derivative will be negative because minus sign is already there. So it means what? It is negative. Negative means maximum. If F double dash C is less than 0, it means at C, the function is showing maxima. It means at X is equal to R by 2, the the curved surface area of the given cylinder will be maximum. Okay. And second one thing you have to prove, that is the radius of the cylinder of the greatest curved surface area which can be inscribed in a given cone is half of that of the cone. It means x is equal to r by 2. Now you can do this question. This is a very good question. Now one concept is left here, which is absolute maxima and absolute minima. It means what? When the function is given to you and you have to find out the maximum, absolute maximum and absolute minimum values, what you have to do, I have just show you the example only. Example number 39. What you have to do, just I am just telling you, you have to find out the critical points. You have to calculate at these maximum and minimum values at these points, as well as on the end points of the given closed interval. If I got here two critical points, x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. So if I'm talking about absolute maxima and absolute minima, then we have to take the end points of the closed intervals also. It means what? I have to check the function at x is equal to 1, which is the first end point, and x is equal to 5 is the last one point in the closed interval, and two critical points, x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. It means you have to check at 4 points, 2 end points of the intervals and 2 which are you have calculated by putting f dash equal to 0. It means at all those 4 points you have to get the values, and which one is maximum or minimum you can find the values. One more thing you have to understand here, which is given in the example number 40, which is also important. One thing is important, I have to tell you only one that thing. Here, when you get the derivative of the function, you can see here denominator is x to the power 2 by 3. It means x should not be equal to 0. In the properties, it is written that where the function is not differentiable and those points where f dash x equal to 0, you have to check on all the points you can get the maximum or minimum. It means where the function is not defined is also the point where you have to check whether the function is maximum or minimum. You can't left that point. It means in this case you have to check at x is equal to 1 also, x is equal to 0 also, and second point which you will get after putting derivative equal to 0, that is x is equal to 1 by 8. It means all 2 points you have to check whether the function shows you maximum or minimum. I am just again telling you, you have to check on the points where the function is not defined, as well as the points where the derivative of the function is 0. It means what? Critical points as well as where the function is not defined. All those points you have to check whether the function is maxima, having maximum or minimum. I think I have told you all the concepts of maxima and minima. You have to try examples first, then we will move for the exercise. Now today's work is to do all examples in your notebook, make notes. I think this concept maximum minima is a very important concept on the point of view of exam. Do these examples in your notebook, make notes, and try to understand the concept of maxima and minima. Thank you. Have a nice day.